By now, everyone is aware of the events that unfolded on the morning of December 4th. Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, gunned down in the streets of New York City, and the boiling disdain that Americans have for their healthcare system led to a well above average support for the gunman. If you would like a deeper breakdown of those events, I did a previous video on this topic that I will link down below. And in that video, we reviewed songs from artists who are either currently on the wall or will be added very soon. Names like Garfunkel and Oates, Trevor Moore, The Coup, Immortal Technique. And while those songs did relate to the topic, today we are looking at songs that were specifically written about the United Healthcare situation. Songs written after the events on December 4th. Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's do it. Up first, we have Jesse Wells, who is a very talented singer-songwriter. Definitely tends to be a bit more on the folk side of the music spectrum, and folk music in general is a little underrepresented on the wall, but Jesse himself will be added very soon. I absolutely love his music. He's definitely worth checking out. He has a little song about bugs that I am quite partial to, and he's written a number of other folk protest songs, and even as early as today, at time of filming, he just released a video talking about the drone sightings above various states that I thought was quite good and very clever. Again, definitely worth checking out. But for the purposes of this video, we are reviewing his song titled United Health. And going into the lyrics, there's an office with a desk and a person in a chair, but unbeknownst to you, you paid for everything there. You paid for the paper, you paid for the phone, you paid for the salary that denied you what you're owed. And the chorus, there ain't no you in United Health, there ain't no me in the company, there ain't no us in the private trust, there's hardly humans in humanity. I'd say that last line hits pretty hard, given the subject matter. Goes on to say how the procedure you need ain't the cost-effective route, and how only 2% of people end up winning their disputes. So if you get sick, pray to God for help, because your doctor's prayers go up through United Health. And it goes on to mention Mr. Richard T. Burke, who back in '77 founded United Healthcare, and it worked out pretty well for him because according to the song, he made $50 billion just last year. A little further down, the song goes on to call him the Warren Buffett of health, the Jeff Bezos of fear. So if you get sick, cross your fingers for luck because Mr. T. Burke ain't giving a fuck. Super solid song by Jesse Wells, and coming up next we have Jonathan Mann, who wrote the song Brian Thompson, and in parentheses, deny, defend, depose. So apparently Jonathan Mann actually makes a song a day. This song itself is actually song 5,819. Pretty impressive if you ask me. Diving into the first verse, well, you can draw a straight line, as straight as they come, from the misery of millions to Brian Thompson. Under his leadership, profits rose, and all that it cost was 1 million gravestones. And the chorus goes on to state that Brian Thompson was a violent man because he condemned people to death by denying them their healthcare coverage while also boosting the profits for his business. Now, that's what the song says, and again, I'm just kind of reviewing the lyrics here, but I guess for me personally, I would not say that Brian Thompson was a violent man, unless, you know, more evidence comes out, but I mean, there's nothing to say that he was actually violent himself. Now, without knowing him personally, I would say it's safer to assume that Brian Thompson was cold, callous, lacking empathy, maybe a sociopath, maybe even a bitch. But this line reminds me of a quote from Noam Chomsky where he's talking about the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, who, for his company, they are investing in dirty energy. You know, the Canadian tar sands, you know, just things that are not good for the environment. But it's not so much that Jamie Dimon himself is doing this, it's that he's basically doing the bidding of his shareholders who, more or less, pull the strings, and therefore Chomsky goes on to say that it's not an individual problem because Jamie Dimon would just be replaced by someone who does do that bidding. So it's not an individual problem, it's an institutional one. And I think that's the same for Brian Thompson. It's not so much that what he did was cold, callous, all the negative stuff that comes from that business model. And even someone like Brian Thompson, even if he did enact positive change within the company, if that did not suit the shareholders, if that did not increase profits year over year, he would probably be replaced by someone who would do the exact things that he was doing, maybe potentially minus the insider trading, which, you know, there is that. So it's not that it's an individual problem, it's that it's an institutional problem. And that gives us the perfect segue into the second verse. Now a very wise man, much smarter than me, once said a phrase that I can really believe. Be kind to people and ruthless to institutions that rule over you and me. Another solid song by Jonathan Mann, and now moving into our third song from Joseph Terrell? He's another singer-songwriter who wrote another song called Deny, Defend, Depose. And at this point, I'm really not so sure that Luigi could have written anything better on those bullet casings, because Deny, Defend, Depose is just such a solid title for so many different things. Anyways, so the first and second verse more or less just kind of do a recap of the events of December 4th, but going down to the chorus, deny, defend, depose, they'll profit off the sickness of the people till the people make it end. Yeah, I heard that! And a little bit further down in the fourth verse, in the world so full of fortune, where the richest rule the day, do you think that money just falls from the tree and they grab it where they lay? When you look into the mirror, when you lay down in your bed, do you ask yourself who suffers as I made my daily bread? And then down in the fifth verse, maybe Parkinson's or cancer or a ladder is where you fall. Maybe 3 swift golden bullets, something gets us all. To the widow and her children, I'm sorry for your pain. We appreciate your feedback. Print this form and submit your claim. Of course, the death of a family member is always a tragedy for the family themselves, you know, especially the children. But I think what he's really trying to convey with those lyrics specifically is just, you know, why should we feel sympathy for your loss if you did not feel sympathy for the loss of millions of people? To hear something so cold as we would like to hear your feedback and submit your claim. And yeah, another good song from Joseph Terrell. It's terrible that I can't pronounce Terrell. Up next, we have a song from The Dusty Show, again called Deny, Defend, Depose. Now, this song has a pretty cool music video that's AI generated. I'm pretty sure the song itself is original, or at least it says so in the description, so just kind of taking that at face value. And the song starts off by saying, they built a castle out of pain, paid in blood, collected gains, a system broken, everyone knows, 3 words define it, deny, defend, depose. Denied the cure, denied the care, left to die but don't despair. Families crying, hope is thin, they see the gates but can't get in. Defend the empire, guard the prize, profit margins above human lies. The policy is written, lives deposed. They stamped it cold, deny, defend, depose. And later on, down in the bridge, this ain't revenge, it's the cost of greed, a reckoning born of bigger needs. You push too hard, you cross that line, the people fight back, one life at a time. Yeah, not bad at all. Now the final bonus song to this review is actually a song from an artist on the wall, Molotov Solution. So yeah, Molotov Solution coming in hot with their song, The Final Hour. It starts off with the quote from V for Vendetta, people should not fear their governments, governments should fear their people. It's a really awesome metal song, and the intro is such a tension builder. Definitely recommend it if you want to check it out, or if you like that kind of music in general. So yes, people should not fear their governments, governments should fear their people. This is the final hour, the last battle in the struggle for power. Destitute of common knowledge and deprived of the unchained life, this struggle ends tonight. We have broken our bonds and abolished the chains that bind our guarded minds. The struggle ends tonight. The truth will be revealed at the hands of a slave, stained red with the blood of his master's name. The population is broken and dead. Revolution is an imminent threat. In our eyes we see only red. Our darkest days lie ahead. You know, it's a fun revolutionary nursery rhyme from Molotov Solution. Again, people should not fear their governments. Governments should fear their people. And on that note, I'm out, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Shout out to Never Ending Student for recommending some of these songs. If you guys have another song that you think fits this topic, definitely let me know in the comments below. Or if you want to see another album review, definitely let me know. You know, we're going down the line reviewing each one of these albums. We already have all of the Rage Against the Machine albums reviewed, so definitely check that out if you're interested. If you like the vibe, definitely like and subscribe, and until then guys, we will see you on the next video. Later.